It's 5 o'clock Friday afternoon. Quitting time. Time to shed the old body for the weekend. Sounds silly, but many industrial athletes, the people like you who depend on strong, healthy bodies to make a living, overdo it after hours and forget to take good care of the body you count on to bring home the bacon. Since you do the same motions with your body on weekends that you do at work, doesn't it make sense that you stress the same muscles? And when you ignore good body mechanics after hours, you can get hurt. Watch what happened to Joe Smith on Monday morning after a busy weekend. Joe just suffered a work-related musculoskeletal disorder. But the truth is, it wasn't 100% due to his job. As we follow Joe through his weekend, you'll see that the 30-pound toolbox was just the straw that broke the camel's back. In this program, we'll take a look at how your back works and how to use good body mechanics 24 hours a day. You'll learn how to protect your body when you do your weekend chores, how to stay in your safety zone, and how to relax correctly. Even sleeping is part of this 24-hour protection plan. Your body is an amazing machine. So well designed, you can usually get it to do whatever you want it to. At the center of this body is your spinal cord. Look at it like a telephone trunk line sending vital signals from your brain to every muscle in your body. But this cabling system is delicate. It needs protection. Yet if you protected it with a solid tube, you wouldn't be able to bend, twist, reach, and all the rest of the moves you take for granted. Instead, your spinal cord is protected by an ingenious set of movable bones.
Every move you make depends on a healthy spine. Your spinal column supports the weight of your upper body and allows you to bend and move in all directions. Each of these 24 bones, called vertebrae, is connected to its neighbor by a spinal disc. These discs act like shock absorbers, cushioning loads and allowing you to bend forward or backward like this, side to side like this, or twist without letting the vertebrae grind together.
To understand the anatomy of a spinal disc, imagine a stacked pile of jelly donuts, each on its own plate. The donuts are discs, and the plates are vertebrae. The outer walls of the donut keep the jelly inside to absorb shock and keep the plates from grinding together and breaking. But too much bending, twisting, and lifting in awkward positions can wear away at the donut crust. Eventually, if the outer ring of the disc is damaged, part of the gel can seep out, a condition called a herniated disc. The key to reducing this problem is to redesign the way you go about doing your daily tasks to reduce the effects of musculoskeletal disorders, or MSDs. At work, you learned that musculoskeletal disorders are associated with repetitive tasks, doing the same things over and over again. In other words, what you do to your body at work and the other 16 hours each day when you're off the job adds up. Over the years, tendons get irritated and sore, leading to painful musculoskeletal disorders, or MSDs. One big help is staying in your safety zone. Your safety zone is the area directly in front of your body from mid-thigh to shoulder height, extending about the length of your forearm and hand. When you bend to lift something below this zone, the discs and muscles of your lower back have to support the weight of your upper body as well as whatever you're lifting. For example, if Joe weighs 180 pounds, his lower back has to support nearly 120 pounds each time he bends over just to tie his shoes. That's because about 2/3 of his body weight is above his waist. It's Saturday morning, and Joe has big plans. He hopes to clean out the garage, do the yard work, and do some work on his car, all by 3 o'clock, in time to watch the game. The problem is, when you're in a hurry, it's easy to forget the basics of good body mechanics. And it's the repetitive stress to the lower back, not one wrong move, but all of them together, that finally breaks the camel's back. So, let's go through a few tips to help you protect your body by applying off the job what you learned to do on the job. Professional athletes who depend on their bodies just like you do wouldn't think of stepping onto the field before warming up. You can warm up your muscles by doing smaller and lighter chores first. Carts, dollies, wheelbarrows, even wagons can protect your back when you're moving heavy, awkward objects around the yard. Part of pre-planning is setting up your work environment so you work inside your safety zone, just like at work. To reduce unnecessary bending and reaching, use the center or mid-range shelves for frequently used tools or heavy objects. Save the bottom or upper shelves for things you rarely use or lightweight items. The key is to keep the center of whatever you'll be lifting inside your safety zone. Remember, every time you bend over to pick up something, you're lifting your upper body in addition to whatever you are lifting. So, it makes sense to use a stepladder instead of lifting heavy objects over your head. This helps keep you in your safety zone and reduces overhead reaching. When cleaning out gutters, use a tall ladder and move it frequently so you can work directly in front of you instead of reaching and twisting to one side or the other. Trimming overhead bushes puts excess stress on shoulders, neck, and back, choking off blood circulation and depriving the muscles of oxygen and nutrients. Use a stepladder to bring the task into your safety zone. When you're moving firewood, position the wheelbarrow far enough away so you have to step and turn instead of twisting at the waist. Use long-handled rather than short-handled tools. Short tools force you to stoop and put unnecessary strain on your lower back. Other ways you can redesign your off-the-job chores include reduce the weight and force of the task. At work, you'd never rig a load on a hoist or crane without knowing the weight of the load and whether the hoist can lift it. It's the same at home. Know the weight of what you want to move. It's as simple as reading the weight printed on the box or container. Never try to lift more weight than you can handle. Even with the best conditioning and training, this is generally less than about 50 pounds for men and 30 pounds for women. Buy 5 20-pound bags rather than 2 50-pound bags of supplies. Fill your wheelbarrow to the halfway point and make more trips. Buy items that have handles whenever possible. For example, paper grocery bags or bags of salt with handles. They provide better grip and let you pick them up without bending. When you set them down, the handle keeps you within your mid-range in your safety zone. Pump up the tires of your material handling aids, such as your wheelbarrow or garden cart, to their maximum pressure. This reduces the force required to push them. Keeping the wheels and springs of tools and equipment in good condition and well lubricated reduces the amount of force you'll need to finish your chores. Push your lawn tractor out of the garage. Don't pull it. Pushing uses stronger muscles and reduces stress on your back. Also, if you slip while pushing, you're less likely to fall, since you can lean against the tractor. Many people treat a bag of dog food as if it's more important than protecting your back. Anyone who's suffered a back injury knows better. When you lose your grip, let your load drop or slide to the floor naturally from your safety zone. Don't try to catch the load. Place a table by your back door to keep sacks of groceries in your safety zone while you unlock the door. And once inside, set the sacks on counters and tables rather than on the floor. It's the same in the garage. Why drop heavy paint cans to the cement when you can easily place them on mid-level shelves until you're ready to use them? It's nearly 2 p.m., an hour before game time, and Joe's exhausted. Even worse, at the moment, his lower back is supporting the weight of his upper body and the air filter. Let's look at what he could do to work smarter. If you need to reach across the car, find the shortest reach possible. Use one hand to support your upper body and the other to reach. This reduces strain on the lower back and discs. Instead of crawling underneath your car and twisting your body in and out of position, use a floor crawler. This can protect your body from unnecessary twisting and from the cold concrete. Cold concrete takes heat from the muscles, so you're more prone to strain your muscles. Select hand tools with large plastic or wood handles. Grip tools with your thumb and fingers. This is called the power grip. It uses larger arm muscles and protects you from injury. Remember to keep your wrists in the neutral position and wear gloves if it is cold. You'll grip better and keep your hands warm. Hands grip cold objects tighter, using excess force and possibly straining delicate nerves and muscles. When you're changing a tire, don't bend over. Remember, you're supporting the weight of your entire upper body and the tire. Instead, drop to one knee while using the lug nut wrench and stay in your safety zone. When lifting the tire off the lugs, crouch down in front of the tire. Use your knee as a leverage when pulling off the wheel. You need only lift the wheel a fraction of an inch to get it off the lugs. You can use the same safe procedure to remount the wheel. Be sure wheel holes are aligned with lugs before you lift the wheel into position. A four-way lug nut wrench reduces the force you need to turn stubborn lug nuts. The four-way wrench increases your leverage by allowing one hand to push down on one side of the wrench while the other pulls up. The force required to either loosen or tighten lug nuts is reduced with this pushing and pulling motion. You're also less likely to strip the lug threads or break them off when using a four-way wrench. Once every hour, take a 2 or 3 minute break to rest and stretch your muscles. This increases circulation and allows blood and oxygen to feed your muscles and nerves. If after stretching you still feel pain, rest. Most of us ignore the body's messages and continue pushing through the pain until it gets serious. When you overdo it, don't keep straining your back or muscles. Rest for a couple of days or until you recover. If it persists, see your doctor. It's hard to believe that prolonged sitting may be harder on the body than standing, but it's true. Your body is designed for motion, and it can tolerate extreme stress for short periods. But when your body holds one position for long periods, muscles tire and pressure can build in the discs. And your sleeping position can be just as stressful on your body. Let's look at how to relax and keep your body in good shape. Most easy chairs and couches do precisely the wrong thing. They curve the lower spine in the wrong direction and increase pressure on the discs. Make sure your backrest is shaped to support the natural curve of the spine. Use a rolled-up towel if your chair isn't designed properly. With easy chairs and sofas, you need to sit all the way back for support. If you don't, your body naturally slumps forward. This reverses the normal S-curve at the base of the spine, putting tremendous stress on the discs. If you need to, stack a cushion or two behind you for support. If your legs still don't touch the floor, don't let them dangle. This cuts off circulation. Instead, use a footstool. It improves blood circulation from your legs back to the heart. A good mattress should be reasonably firm so the spine is able to rest in neutral position. That means your body is relaxed and your neck is not sagging. Make sure you support your neck or you put extra stress on joints and discs. Use a neck support pillow or try using a rolled-up towel. Stick it inside your pillowcase, underneath the padded area of the pillow. This keeps the neck in line with the spinal column. Lying on your back reduces pressure on the discs. If you're more comfortable sleeping on your side, support your head with a pillow. Bend your legs slightly at the hips and knees. This supports the normal curve of the lower spine. Elevate and bend your knees. Support them with a pillow. This reduces excessive curvature in the lower spine. Pushing beyond the body's limits just goes with the territory in Joe's line of work, but he makes it his business to protect himself when he does. His livelihood depends on it. That is, until the weekend comes. Then he sheds his body and does whatever he wants. But this time, Joe learned his lesson. From now on, he'll use good body mechanics all the time.
Remember, your body is your most important tool, and unlike any other tool you own, you can't replace it. It just makes sense to take care of it 24 hours a day.
Take care of it 24 hours a day with good body mechanics while lifting, lowering, pushing, pulling, or carrying. Work in your safety zone and use proper lifting techniques to minimize twisting, bending, and reaching. And be kind to your body with proper diet, exercise, and rest. After all, it makes good sense.